This episode of Tekzilla is sponsored by Domain.com.
John's looking for some help hanging out and writes in, I just want to search for various public hangouts and see if I want to join one, just like I used to be able to. Not sure why it changed, but they made it much harder. Can you help, please? John, this sounded like a good question for Revision 3's resident masters of all things Google and Hangout. Jackie Talbott, welcome back to Tekzilla.
Thank you.
Which is not the screensavers, I want to point out. I was having some trouble with the Tekzilla and the screensavers being completely different things at completely different times. Jackie, how do you recommend people find or search for public hangouts?
Yeah, so there's actually a few ways that you can do it. You can go officially to plus.google.com/hangouts. This is the official listing of all of the major hangouts that you can see and join in. Bigger outlets like MSNBC and NASA, whenever they're doing a hangout, it'll be there. You can also just search within Google Plus for via like topic or by a participant's name.
What did you like? Rugby hangout or
so you can write,
hangout?
Patrick Norton or tech or ice cream or hot dogs, anything you want.
Ice cream hangout.
It'll bring up every current hangout that's going on around that topic or host.
That's crazy. So,
yeah.
Okay, ice cream.
You just have to type in whatever you want and then set the filter to hangouts. Typically, there's not a lot of ice cream hangouts going on at any given time. But if you know of something that you're interested in or maybe something you had remembered, you can search that way.
Go ahead.
There's also pretty good third-party crowdsourcing community calendar hangout bulletin boards. These ones are really good. They're basically anybody can come in and input their hangout that they're doing, and then you can search through there via, again, topic, participant's name, keyword, anything you think of. Those websites are hangoutslive.com. That's where you can search them by category or tag. And then gphangouts.com is another one, but those are listed more in the categories such as like entertainment, business, society. So if you're not exactly sure, but you know kind of the realm you want to hang out in, you can use that one. That
the realm you want to hang out in.
The realm, yes.
That sounds so Game of Thrones.
I'm sure you can find a Game of Thrones hangout pretty easily.
Well, it's funny, like entertainment, social science, and society, business. Okay, the GP Hangouts are severely generic.
They are very generic, but you can also search. And if you don't like that, there's hangoutslive.com.
So, I mean, it's kind of funny. Have you ever, like, any amazing hangouts you've ever stumbled across? Because I was, like, laughing because you look over here on the left on the Google Plus page, and it's, like, Hangouts on air. And actually, basically, so all these are live right now. Yes, it shows active ones. The good thing about the bulletin board third-party websites are they show the ones that are upcoming, whether it's in a few hours or in a few months. Right. So you can search from present until future. Look, there's Left 4 Dead gameplay with James. There you go. All right, James. Just want to play with James. So, okay, any tips for like looking your best in a hangout or getting the most out of a hangout? Definitely. So I, number one, would recommend using an external mic. That's the number one thing. Even if you're just using your built-in camera, the external mic will really help sharpen it up. You cannot use USB mics, though. Really? Somehow will break the hangout. That's so odd. Google advises against that. If you do want to use an external webcam, I like any basic webcam. The Logitech C920 is really good. We use that in the office a few times. And Google also surprisingly has advised us to use Firefox to run it rather than Chrome. That's so bizarre. Which is interesting, but it works better. So Google says use Firefox for a Google Plus Hangout. Yep. Okay. Things run better in Firefox and they aren't afraid to say it. That's so strange. Yeah, so there's that. And as well, there's a ton of apps that come within every Hangout. You can, there's an app store for Hangouts in particular. You can browse through them at hangoutapps.com, but the few that I would recommend are the Hangout Toolbox. That'll give you the options for a lower third or a custom overlay. There's also the Cameraman app, which is really great for managing people in the Hangout. You can control their visibility settings. And the last one that I would recommend is Google Effects. That gives you basically a soundboard of sound effects. You can get crickets, you can get an applause, anything you can think of. And also gives you virtual masks, like a pirate mask. I don't know which is more frightening, the idea of somebody having the wah-wah-wah sound or putting a pirate mask on me in the middle of a Google Hangout. The cool thing about the mask as well is it detects your face, so it knows exactly where to lay things over. It's a lot of fun. It's really smart. So I'm curious, like, you know, so you're putting together a Hangout, you've got your camera set up, you've got your audio situation, you've loaded Firefox just to run your Google Hangout. Just to run your Google Hangout, exactly. Which is, I mean, it'll work in Chrome, but it's just better in Firefox. Which is so odd. I can't even go. What else do you recommend? You know, should you be, you know, approach it in a casual manner? I mean, it's definitely the whole reason for Hangouts is people just want to hang out, right? They just want to be with you, whether you're normally talent or normally some bank
person or whoever, just be yourself and be casual and be fun, and it's just a chance for you to engage with people around the similar interests as you.
How big can a Hangout get before it ends or it falls apart?
So there's a max limit of 10 per Hangout, 10 people per Hangout, and that will, it caps, and so nobody else can join after that. And they can archive for up to 2 hours on YouTube, yeah. And
then basically, will it live permanently on YouTube if you archive it? Yeah,
it acts just like a regular YouTube video. It has a spot in YouTube, and you got a perma URL. You get analytics on it.
You had mentioned Lee Jarrett has a website that helps out with Google Hangouts?
Yes, so there are always updates going on with Google Plus and especially Hangouts. And so I found this website called Google Plus Daily that has, it is updated like crazy with up-to-the-minute Google Plus updates, including Hangout-specific updates. So I would recommend checking in on that and seeing what new changes are happening and new features that they're adding on to make it a better opportunity.
It seems like it almost seems like sometimes Google doesn't entirely know what Google's adding to Google products at any given time.
There's just a slew of things going on at all times at Google, and so this guy made it really easy on us. So you can look at that, yeah.
Oh my goodness, wonder if he's making any money off of that one.
I know. You're welcome.
So June 26th, I think we're going to do our next Hangout.
Yes,
Wednesday, June 26th.
Wednesday, June 26th.
A general purpose Tekzilla Hangout. Should I put Veronica on the spot?
Q&A.
Want to hang out in a Google Hangout next Wednesday?
Say yes.
Perfect!
Hawaii?
They got Wi-Fi on the beach in Hawaii.
No thanks.
Okay, so it'll be me and Robert.
It'll be fun stuff.
Next Wednesday after the shoot. Jackie, thank you so much
for
helping us out.
This episode of Tekzilla is sponsored by Domain.com. Entrepreneurs and innovators are all turning ideas into realities online, backed by the strength of a .net domain name. .net is one of the world's most popular domain extensions, and a .net domain name from Domain.com will inject your business with instant credibility. Entrepreneurs and innovators will immediately discover the advantages of building their web presence around a .net domain name. Already have a .com? Purchase the corresponding .net from Domain.com and protect your online brand. Is the .com you want already taken? The .net is a perfect alternative. We like Domain.com because they're affordable. A .net extension is only $8.99 a year. They're also reliable and easy to use. Now, the guys at Domain.com want to hook up our fans with an awesome offer. You'll get 20% off of their already affordable domain names and web hosting when you use the coupon code Tekzilla at Domain.com's checkout. That's 20% and big time savings. Don't forget to use the coupon code Tekzilla. And when you think domain names, think Domain.com.